This was a big one for us. It almost counts towards 2 when you're in the playoff race of like a loss and a win. So we knew it was a big one.
She has stepped up her game in that opportunity. Caitlin Clark for 3, rattles it around for her first deep shot.
You're about to see how one player can change everything. We're talking a 181 victory, a team rising from the ashes, and a rookie making veterans look like amateurs. Stick around as we break down Caitlin Clark's game-changing performance against the Chicago Sky. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Although you've seen the highlights, Clark's true tale is more nuanced than his numbers. In her initial professional games, what drove this college sensation to the verge of exasperation? Other teams are frantically trying to figure out the surprising solution. The transition of Caitlin Clark from rookie to emerging star is worth discussing. A tale of perseverance, development, and performances that alter the game. It's upending the WNBA. It did not, however, begin with a boom. No, the Indiana Fever, led by Clark, had a dismal 1-8 start to the season.
Fumbled it away. So I thought it was another opportunity for us to come in here and show what we're about, and I thought we were really good. And
she has stepped up her game in that opportunity. Caitlin Clark for 3, rattles it around for her first deep shot.
This was a big one for us. It almost counts towards 2 when you're in the playoff race of like a loss and a win. So
a rookie's spirit might be broken by a start like that, but Clark's was unshattered. Imagine entering the professional league and feeling like you're drowning, but in the college league, you were the big fish. Clark had to deal with precisely that. By her own admission, it was not fun. I was frustrated. She didn't hesitate to acknowledge how difficult the switch from college to professional ball had been for her. But things get fascinating from this point on. Not only did Clark not sit in exasperation, she observed the wider picture. I know there's going to be moments where we look back on this and be like, this 1-8 start is going to help us somewhere down the line. That's the thinking of a future star, not just optimism. She was right, my goodness. In the present, with a 16-16 record, the Fever are enjoying their success. That is a complete reversal, not simply an improvement. We are discussing a team that emerged from the bottom of the league to contend for a postseason position. What is at the heart of it all? It's Caitlin Clark, you guessed it. However, what was her method? How might a disgruntled rookie like Clark become a possible Rookie of the Year? Growth is the key, my dear. Clark is beginning to dominate the professional game rather than merely adapt to it. She demonstrated that against the Chicago Sky. Do you recall the 31 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds we discussed earlier? That is a declaration rather than merely a fantastic game.
What more can you say about Caitlin Clark? She already has the rookie assist record on this night.
Right now, the Indiana Fever are answering the call, and we're even hearing them being called the team to beat.
She claims the 3-point mark for a single season for a rookie.
Clark is playing with confidence in addition to skill. Experienced players are squinting at her plays because of the quality of them. Additionally, it goes beyond the numbers. Clark is giving the Fever a whole new lease of life. She possesses the exceptional capacity to improve everyone in her vicinity. Her presence on the court appears to give the entire team an air of confidence and swagger. The really shocking thing is that Clark is only getting started. This is really her warm-up. This is not her peak. With each game, she improves, grows, and learns new things. That's what's making WNBA teams nervous. Their concerns extend beyond Clark at this point to include what she will grow into. Although Clark's exceptional genius is evident, more significant developments are taking place in Indiana. What invisible power is making the Fever become a cohesive team instead of a struggling squad? The response may surprise you, and it's causing quite a stir in the league. You may believe that Clark's stats are everything, but the Fever is using a covert weapon that is far more potent than any point on a scorecard. The Fever are becoming a formidable force because of their strong team dynamic. Clark isn't afraid to reveal the truth about this. She has been discussing how the Fever players have been interacting with one another off the court. However, this goes beyond simple group activities or team-building exercises. No, the goal here is to establish a bond that will manifest itself as on-court magic. Contemplate it. How often have you witnessed a team where members appear to have a telepathic sense of their teammates' whereabouts? Without a word being said, where do passes find their mark? Clark's description of the Fever's silent communication during games is exactly that. This is where the intriguing part starts, though. Clark is referring to more than simply her happiness and enjoyment with her teammates. She is referring to outcomes.
Caitlin Clark has now broke that glass ceiling, and they should be bowing at her. She's going to create jobs and money.
You know, I'm just really thankful. I'm trying to soak in every single second because, it's really surreal, and it kind of brings a little tear to my eye.
I said once she gets a break and then plays, some of these other teams, then you'll probably see her play.
The kind of performance that makes other WNBA teams nervous. Recall the encounter with the Chicago Sky? That one with Clark dishing out 12 assists and scoring 31 points? Clark, though, said that the game felt smooth. Not just successful, not just good. As if everything fell into place effortlessly. It's not only Clark who senses it either. She has stated unequivocally that everyone can see their chemistry. According to what she said, we've already established what our chemistry is and how we want to play. That sends a warning to the rest of the league in addition to being a show of confidence. Let's dissect this a little further, though. What does this on-court chemistry actually look like? To begin with, the Fever's enhanced offensive is a direct result of it. We are discussing a squad that, in that game versus the Sky, made 13 of 29 three-pointers.
Pagbenle tips it away and off and running. Caitlin Clark whips a pass, thread the needle mark.
Honestly, I just had a lot of fun playing. I thought we played with a lot of joy. We played at up-tempo.
And a Fever. They make sure that the ball moves around until it gets back in the hands.
That's not simply excellent shooting. It's the kind of play that results from anticipating your teammates' movements and understanding when they will be available. Additionally, it's not only about the spectacular plays and highlight reel moments. Even in the little things, this chemistry is evident. The way athletes move off the ball when screens appear, and the snap judgments that can make or break a possession. The Fever players are becoming more aware of each other's inclinations and preferences, which is why everything is getting better. Clark has been eager to clarify that this was not an overnight success. It is the outcome of their shared playing techniques and the time they spent together. The reward, though, it is enormous. The Fever team that we're watching is playing not just better, but smarter as well. For the remainder of the WNBA, what does this mean? The news isn't good, though. Clark's singular genius is no longer the only thing the Fever relies on. Their team is starting to function as a cohesive unit, surpassing the sum of its individual components. And any opponent would find it to be unsettling. Although the Fever's metamorphosis is attracting attention, it's also going the other way. One team is in free fall while Indiana is moving up the ladder. Their chances of making the playoffs are in shambles after 6 straight losses. Can the team that is under pressure halt the downward trend before it's too late? Yes, you guessed it. We are discussing the Chicago Sky. They were once the WNBA's dominant team, but nowadays they're having trouble making ends meet. And it's not simply that they've been losing recently. It is a result of the work being done by Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever to upend the league as a whole. Now let us dissect it. The Sky's current 6-game losing record goes beyond a terrible run. Their chances of making the playoffs are seriously in risk due to this full-blown disaster. In the meantime, Clark's performances have changed the game, and the Fever are enjoying their newfound success. Recall the previous discussion we had concerning the game against the Sky?
Felt like we were flowing well out there. It just felt like pretty basketball. And sometimes I think as a basketball player, you can just feel it.
Being the first WNBA player that has recorded consecutive 20-plus point rebound games.
I thought that's what we had. Like I said, minus the first 6 minutes, I thought we played really well. And
playing good wasn't all Clark did. The entire league is talking about the performance she put on. 31 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds are what we're discussing. It goes beyond just the numbers, though. The question is how those figures affect the Fever's chances of making the playoffs. When Clark stated, This was a big one for us. It almost counts towards 2 when you're in the playoff race. She perfectly captured the essence of the situation. She is now considering more than simply single games. Her focus on the greater prize is what other clubs in the league are worried about. This is where the intriguing part starts, though. Clark is performing above average. She's playing with an almost smug sense of assurance. And what's this? She is deserving of it. She was spotted jokingly interacting with supporters after the game by pointing at the scoreboard.
And it doesn't surprise me, and I think the WNBA this year, the ratings are going to be great, and the better she is.
Yeah, I think I'm just grateful. Honestly, I just look around and I get to play in an arena full of a lot of little kids, a lot of little girls.
This is no longer a newbie trying to get her bearings. This diva is aware that her time has come. And the Fever team as a whole is starting to feel that confidence. Everything is expressed in Clark's quote, "We're just tough to guard. We're playing fluid basketball." It's more than just talk. To all the other teams in the league, that is a warning. It's not only that the Fever win games, they are altering the gameplay of the game. Consider the implications for the remainder of the WNBA. Teams who weren't too long ago seen as dominant suddenly have rival teams after them. Previously assured playoff spots are suddenly in jeopardy. And at the heart of it all is rookie Caitlin Clark, who's acting like a seasoned pro. However, Clark is not the only issue. It concerns what she stands for. She represents a new generation of athletes that are invigorating the league with their innovative ideas. They're not happy with things as they are. Their purpose is to cause a stir, and they're doing it with flair. What does this entail for the WNBA's future then? Well, we might be looking at a whole different landscape if Clark and the Fever continue on this path. Formerly dominant teams may find it difficult to stay up to date. It may also be necessary to make room for new stars to replace players who were once thought of as the league's face. Let's not, however, get ahead of ourselves. There is still a lot of basketball left to be played in this season. They're not out, even though the sky may be down. Furthermore, other clubs in the league aren't going to give Clark and the Fever the entire spotlight. Caitlin Clark's transformation from a doubtful rookie to a possible game changer in the WNBA is quite amazing. Along the process, she has changed the Indiana Fever's fortunes, going from a dissatisfied rookie to a self-assured captain. The shocking thing is that Clark is not finished yet. She has only just begun. She elevates the squad as a whole with every game in addition to honing her personal abilities. According to Clark, "I'm just really thankful for my teammates that stuck with me." This thankfulness is igniting a performance that's making waves throughout the league. There's more to Clark than meets the eye. She's introducing a fresh play style and enthusiasm that's getting noticed. She's altering not only the games, but the whole WNBA. Furthermore, this is only the start. One question still stands as Clark keeps rising. Who will stop her?